Israel-Gaza Iran War News Live Update. Doha hosts meeting between Turkey's foreign minister and Hamas leader. Hakan Fidan, Turkey's foreign minister, met with Hamas officials in Doha over the weekend. Current Turkish officials have shown open support for Hamas and have welcomed the group's top brass on multiple occasions. On Saturday, Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan met with Ismail Haniyeh, head of Hamas, in Qatar. The diplomat from Turkey was in attendance at a ministerial meeting that dealt with the topic of Turkey's relations with the GCC at the time of the meeting. The present Turkish government supports the Palestinian terrorist group Hamas and has welcomed Hamas officials multiple times, most recently following the October 7 massacre. Another NATO member is Turkey. Support for Hamas comes from both this country and Qatar, two other Western friends. Meeting the Hamas commander was an accomplishment of which Fidan was proud. He shared the news on the social networking site X. Hakan Fidan, Turkey's Minister of Foreign Affairs, held a meeting with Ismail Haniyeh, the head of Hamas's political bureau, in Doha, Qatar. During the 6th ministerial meeting of the Turkey Gulf Cooperation Council, Fidan shared a snapshot of the two men sitting down. The conference did not include any red flags. Seated before a gigantic replica of Jerusalem's Dome of the Rock, the men deliberated. In the ongoing crisis, Ankara has attempted to establish itself as the primary supporter of Hamas. Through gatherings like this, it has also aimed to legitimize Hamas, giving the impression that it is the administration of the Palestinians overall and not simply Gaza. The goal is to give the impression that Hamas could eventually rule the West Bank as well, which will benefit their image. Haniyeh was the subject of an application for an arrest warrant before the International Criminal Court's pretrial chamber in May. This has not swayed Ankara's stance on meeting with a potential war criminal on the run. As a result of the apparent pro-Palestinian protest that vandalized the U.S. consulate in Sydney on June 10, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese denounced the vandalism. Someone splattered paint all over the building at about 3 a.m. with a little sledgehammer. As Albanese made the comment during a broadcast media conference from Canberra, he was essentially saying that people should engage in respectful political debate and discourse. Such acts of vandalism, he stressed, are criminal in nature and serve no useful purpose. Graffiti on the building's door and 9 broken windows are the consequences of the incident. A police official stated that surveillance footage showed a man in a dark sweatshirt with what looked like a little sledgehammer. Although they acknowledged the damage, the U.S. consulate assured that their staff and activities remained untouched. Police from both New South Wales and the Australian Federal Police are looking into the matter. The Sydney Morning Herald published photos of the building's facade that revealed inverted red triangles, a symbol that some pro-Palestinian campaigners allegedly employ. Previous vandalism occurred in April and May, with pro-Palestinian graffiti appearing on U.S. consulates in Melbourne and Sydney. This event follows those crimes. Even though it has always been a staunch supporter of Israel, Australia has recently been more critical of Israel's behavior in Gaza. This change is in response to the Israeli attack that killed an Australian humanitarian worker earlier in 2024. Campuses in several Australian cities, including Canberra, Sydney, and Melbourne, hosted protest camps in May in response to the Israeli invasion of Gaza and the Australian government's handling of the situation.